How's it going? Today I think continue working on the fixed blade. Last week we added this ferro rod striker surface to the blade. Today I think we'll start on some handles. I started them before but didn't save it. Turn these banners off. And leave that one on there. So we probably want to go open the assembly. I'll have to rebuild it since it has the old knife in here. When I created the assembly, I have to rebuild. It'll bring the new one in. Here's my assembly with some connectors and the blade. I'm going to go ahead and save this so it's in case I forget. But now we want to insert a new part to create as a scale. Insert components, new part. Select the face on which to position the new part. Bada bing. So now we're on this plane, the plane of this face. Hey, Kelly. So now that I'm on this face, I want to draw a sketch along this profile, and I'm not sure the best way to do that. I don't know if you can offset at 0. I don't know if it'll allow me to do that. Let me go set these cookies real fast. So now I have those selected as an offset at 0. Let's hit the check mark and see if it allows us to do that. Yeah, it looks like it did, so that's cool. So that way my scale goes straight to the edge of that. Then I'll add a curve here. Let's add a spline. Somewhere we'll start. I'm not sure why. Okay. Some angles things don't show up. I'm going to go out here, here. I'll go over to here. There, now I have a spline. We will trim, corner trim. That and that and that and that cannot resolve. Let's finish that trim, start another one. Cannot resolve. So let's zoom in here and see what's going on. Okay. Trim. closest. It's not what we want. Oh, I see what happened when I double clicked. I messed that up. So let's turn trim off. Let's redo this. We'll start down here since it's more curved down here. Hey, Mick and Cliff. Hello. Thanks for stopping in. Let's start here instead of ending here. I didn't want to do that. Start about here. I don't know the proper way to. I think that's right. Now we should be able to trim this with a corner trim. There we go. So let's exit this sketch. I don't know how thick. Anyone know how thick like micarta and scale material? What are some standard thicknesses? 1/4 inch, or is it a 1/2 inch? Or how's it going, Eagle Scout? Thanks for stopping in. Let's create an extrusion. This sketch. Let's go about 4 millimeters, maybe. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get shorter connectors, it looks like. But until then, we can go bigger because I'm gonna contour some away. Actually, I wonder. Here we have scale. Now I could use some help from Loot 10, Texas. I need to go watch his video, his last video. He did some of this. I'm not sure the best way to contour the whole thing. Going to need to build a sketch somewhere. I believe. If I just do a fillet, let's see what we get. We'll go like, I don't know, 3 or 4 millimeters. We'll try 4 and see what happens. That's a little too much. Three millimeters. Yeah, I think I'll just design it simple like this, and we can, once I learn a little more about adding some other features, we can try to contour this or add some kind of texture to it. If I were building this on the grinder, I'd probably do a little bit thinner here where your finger goes, and then a little bit thinner here, and have like a palm swell similar to this. But I think for now, this will work. We figure out how to go in this part. Material, edit material. Also get some plastics. Just make it nylon for now. Not sure why it's invisible or visibility is down, but that'll work for now. Let's save that. Fixed blade assembly. The fixed blade. Why? Where is properties? Well, let's close all this and let's open that up by itself and see what happens. No, I didn't want to do that. Let's close that. No. Close that. I might have just messed up, but we'll see. Now let's open the assembly. It's back to part one. What's going on here? Plate connector. Thanks, Eagle Scout. Appreciate that. look through some other materials just to see. See what we have available. Let's make some carbon fiber. So why didn't that? Let's see here. Why is this? Not sure how to replace this with the one I saved. Should be a replace component or something. Replace component. Oops, picked the wrong one. Replace components. Replace with this. Bada bing. There we go. Now we have a carbon fiber scale without any holes in it. Let's add a hole. .220 at 2:30 or 2:30 Pacific time anyway. I believe Ron is streaming pretty soon. If anyone wants to leave, I won't be offended. This might be a little boring for most people. But even if you don't like it, hit the like. You know? Why not? It won't hurt you. I don't know. Let me trim that up a little bit. I guess it's not too bad. I'm going to mess with this later. Try to add a little more contouring. But for now, I think it's pretty good. Let me change this shape of this a little bit. Put more of a swell here and a little more of a taper back here. Just move this bump a little forward. I don't know. It should fire up. I need a 3D printer I need to put together, and I could print it out and see what it feels like. That would be pretty cool. For the other side, I will just make a mirrored copy of this part once I'm done with it. I just don't know. Let's see. Uh-oh. I hope my computer's not shutting down. What's going on here? Can everyone hear me? I don't know. I've been talking. Hopefully you can hear me. Yeah, it looks like the microphone's moving. Seeing the design process. Yeah, it's kind of neat, especially if you're not into this. To those of us that do it, sometimes it's boring, but don't get me wrong, I love it. It's challenging because I'm doing something I've never done. My expertise is wire design, wire harness design, wire bundle design in aerospace and automotive, heavy duty Class 8 trucks. So I've done, I have done mechanical designs, some brackets for standoffs and just small brackets for holding wires. I've designed some instrument panels for airplanes, but I never did the full design because when I worked aerospace, I worked at a place that was union, so I could only do 3D design, and we had to give once the model was done, we gave it to the drafting team, and they would make all the drawings. So geometric dimensioning and tolerancing, I know a little bit about, but I never really had to do it completely. And I have created drawings of small brackets, but really simple stuff. Which a knife is pretty simple. It's just one chunk of metal, basically, and this assembly is just connectors, scales. I will put the screws in here. I might get rid of these connectors and just put a male and a female screw to hold the scales on. Or I might just put a brass bar, and I think I'd rather have them removable. That way, if this was actually ever became an actual knife, you could just buy the skeletonized version cheaper and then add scales if you wanted later, or buy it with the scales, different colors and materials. Not that it'll ever become true, but it's fun to think about. I need to ask some actual knife designers how much I should leave here, and I guess it probably depends on the material. If I ever had one made, I wouldn't even put this bevel on there, though. I'd just create a drawing of the outline and have it water jet cut, and then whoever actually does the grinding can put the primary bevels on there and leave enough for heat treating without causing distortion, or making it thin enough that you don't ruin the heat treat when you put the final bevel on there. So, trying to figure out how to work on this part in context. Oh, maybe I just need to open part in position. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. I'm trying to add holes to this for the screws. I should probably read the instruction manual someday. See, I don't want to be an assembly. I don't think. Oh, let me see. Yeah, I could put the holes in the sketch. Do I want to do that? Yeah, I guess we could try it. I like to add holes though, instead of just creating them in the sketch. But for now, to save some time, Not what we want. One. It's two. I picked them on the wrong plane. Not sure what's going on here. How you doing, Caleb? Good to see you. Messing around with the fixed blade here. I added a scale and I'm trying to add holes to it. I think I'm gonna close this and open it back up. I don't know what happened. I should have saved it. Oi, oi, oi. Let's replace this component with the scale. Finish this. Achieve the same result, but now we'll save it. There should be some way to make this the active part. Edit part, that's what I want. There we go. Now we can add a holes. What's it asking me? Type of hole. Let's just add the hole. Positions. Type. Through all. That didn't work well. Hole wizard. Let's just try to add the hole. Right there. Right there. How is the sketch open? to next. Let's just try one at a time and see what happens. Intersects on the center line. Not sure. Might have to, let's open this in its own window. Okay, so I don't have any extraneous. This. That's why I didn't create it. That thing's a little bit too large. That's the type of hole I think I want. Yeah. Let's do another one. Now let's save this. Finger ramp. Oh, it's actually a ferro rod cut out for Fire Striker. And it's not fully, I'm not fully on board with it yet, but I think Fook or someone suggested it last week and we added it. I might change the shape a little. Probably leave it the same. If I do a 3D print now, see how it actually fits into a ferro rod, or a ferro rod fits into it. It's pretty shallow. That's why it looks long. It's not that big, but it's more than, instead of just having a 90-degree, put a little radius on there so that it catches more of the ferro rod, create more sparks when you're striking it. Let's open the assembly back up. Rebuild the assembly, yes. There we go. Now I think I'll be able to move these holes. I wonder if there's a position. I'll just edit the sketch. Move this hole. Gotta be a way to move that. and dimension it. So let me try smart dimension from here to try to find the center line command. I don't want that. There we go. Coincident. Yeah, so now we have one in place. So yeah, I'll get rid of the connectors and we'll just use screws, male and female screws like the TCALs use. Were you talking about this, Caleb? That is for a ferro rod. Just so this, I want this to be a utility knife, so Fructuous will suggest this just to add a little more functionality, so you could use it like a camp knife, or it's not huge, it's not like a bushcraft knife or anything, but it's like 4.5 and 3. Let's move this other hole. Move it closer. Straighten out this view. Boom, coincident. So it's automatically finding the center and adding a coincident constraint or relation. So that holds it to the center of this circle. Now hopefully that's picking the center of this sketch and not the connector. We'll find out when I delete the connectors, because if it's constraining it to the center of the vector, when the connector goes away, that constraint no longer exists. So we'll have to reposition it, but no big deal. But at least they're in the correct spot now. So let's get out of edit. I actually kind of like this. Let's change the shape of this blade a little bit and see if this messes us up or not. Oh, that's not the sketch I want. Fixed blade on it. Oh, I guess. Oh, that's the plane. No. What am I doing wrong here? Oh, this is the sketch we want to edit. Yeah. So let's see if we can just move this and see what happens. See if Since everything else was created from this, let's see if it automatically updates everything once I do this. And it does. So that's kind of neat. Well, except there's rebuild error, so let's undo this. It's probably something I did along the way that is gonna mess that up, so I'll take a look at it later offline. Let's get rid of these connectors and see what happens. Scales has rebuild errors. So I think what happened. I think what I was saying when I constrained the holes, I think it constrained them to the connectors, not the sketch holes. So they're in the right place. They're just not constrained. What? Yeah, it's asking us to fix that. Hey, McRanger. Good to see you. Hope everyone's having a good evening, afternoon, whatever it is for you. Hopefully this allows. Let's get rid of this coincident. Add a new one. If it allows us. So if we pick this, there, added the coincidence to this hole, this edge. So hopefully that one's fixed. Now this, I think that's the other hole. Yeah. So the warning signs over here went away for that one when I constrained it to the hole. It had been constrained to the vectors. So if we edit this sketch, do the same thing over here. I like to flip it around just so I can see these holes on the other side. Pick that. Get rid of this coincidence. Pick this. Drag it over. There we go. That should be okay. So now both of those are constrained to this part instead of the connector. I could change the coincidence to fixed, but if I decide to move these holes now, then the holes in the scales, even though it's not the same part, this is an assembly with this part. The blade is one part and the scale is another part. But I can modify the position of these actual holes in the knife, and the scale would automatically update. Probably not going to, but I could. I have the holes in the blade centered in these flat portions, which I don't know if those need to be flat. I could contour around it. Probably a little heavier duty than it needs to be. It's not been saved. Let's save this. There. So that's looking a little better. I'm going to have to look up some actual screw sizes and make this an actual size. I know that it's not correct. Not for, I believe I had 1/4 inch fasteners in there. I thought I did, but 1/4 inch is too big. We could put 10 millimeter for now. I think that's bigger than we need, but you don't want it to be smaller than the hole because then your fastener, whatever fastener you choose, would be pushing on the carbon fiber instead of just sandwiching the steel between the two layers of carbon fiber. So let's change the other one to the same thing. Number 10. And I think I can change that, the head size of that, to match whatever fastener I find. I have to look this up. Is this type? Oh yeah, so you can probably change it to be more correct. But for now, we'll leave this on there. 2:48. Probably go another 10 minutes. I believe Ron might be streaming. I'm not sure. Let's take a look. As a matter of fact, let's open YouTube. Yeah, it looks like Ron Crow streaming. If anyone wants to go over there, I won't be offended. Tell him I said hello. Tell him I sent you. Like I said, I'm probably only going to go another 10 minutes, if that. I'd like to try to get a good hour, solid hour in. Just for I don't know. I need to commit to it. Need to be less wishy-washy here on the YouTubes. Let me go back over. Mick Ranger says he loves this design. Thank you very much, Mick. What do you think for real? Think I should try to have someone grind it for me? 'Cause I don't think I want to buy a grinder and try it. Although, wouldn't be hard to have it water cut. I'd have to sell some guitars or something to get the investment. Kind of neat, even if I just made one or two of them. It would be neat to do. Be neat to design something and build it. I mean, everyone likes that. I definitely need to at least have it 3D printed and see what it feels like in hand. I wonder, while we're here, I think what I'll try to do is see if there's some way to easily create a mirror part. from this, like a symmetrical part. I might have to look that up on the YouTubes. We'll go to edit part first. Make part flexible. I think that is a flexible just so you can modify the part and it would still be the same part, but then you would have two different modifications of the same part. I think that's what it means in other programs. Not sure what it means here. Edit component. I know there's a mirror function, but can you create an actual separate part from it? That is my question. See, here's the mirror function. But that's just for mirroring features. I don't want to mirror the feature. I want to create a mirror symmetrical part. I might have to look that one up. Mirror components. Now, if I mirror components, I don't want to just mirror the face. I want to mirror the whole part. Oh, never mind. Let's cancel this. Let's turn the front plane on to show. Where was that mirror component now? I forget where I saw that. Hey, Marco. And gentlemen of honor, good to see you. Probably won't be going too much longer. Ron Crow is straight if anyone wants to head over there. I created some carbon fiber scales for the fixed blade design. Added a couple holes, which aren't correct, but good place to start. I might change them. I need to look up some fasteners and see what kind of fasteners I want to try. Actually, I could leave it like this and then get fancy and put like a brass washer inside there, a brass insert with like a countersunk hole and just use countersunk fasteners, something like that. That's a little too fancy, but it's a thought. Scales, let's see, where was that mirror component? Anyone remember? Oh, there it was. Mirror components. What happened to the sketch keeps disappearing? I guess I can't do it because I'm in assembly mode. Mirror component. I can't see the face. So I guess I'll wait until I try doing a little more contouring on this. Let's make a sketch on here and see what happens. Am I in this? I'm in. No, I'm not. So let's edit this. Let's make a sketch on this plane. Let's do a spline. Start here. Go here, here, out here. That might be too far. Let's start over. I gotta get rid of that coincidence. I don't want that. Let's leave it. Let's do this. Exit sketch. I don't think this is going to work. I don't want to have these fillets on if I do that. I'll look that up later. We'll just not do this for now. Let's just save this. Let's wrap it up. It's been an hour. There's other streams to go to that are more exciting than this. I'm going to go look on YouTube and try to find a little bit of information. I don't want these to just be flat. I want these contoured. I want to go watch Luke 10 Texas. Make sure you go subscribe to him. But he just did some, I remember him talking about, he was doing the handles on a folder, but be the same methodology for creating the contoured scales here. But hey, at least we made some progress. Take a screenshot of this. Save that, post it on my Instagram or something. Thank you. There's Loot's link. Appreciate you posting that. And I hope everyone has a good evening. Let's go see what's happening over at Ron Crow's, and I'll talk to you all later. Bye.